Fox's Gretchen Carlson is suing Fox News chief Roger Ailes for harassment and for allegedly demanding or suggesting that they have a sexual relationship. We've talked about Fox News anchor Gretchen Carlson many times before. She couldn't understand why a particular shooting was not a hate crime. She tried to turn the Paris massacre into Benghazi. She got pranked by a Fox News pranker that we talked about on the show. She flipped out when a Festivus poll shared space with a Christian nativity scene. She talks about the so-called gay lifestyle. We have a long history with Gretchen Carlson, is my point. Anyway, the news is she is now suing Fox News, specifically Fox News chairman Roger Ailes, accusing him of forcing her out after she refused his sexual advances, also complaining that she went to him about the persistent harassment she believed she was experiencing in the newsroom, saying it is a total boys' club environment at Fox News. Well, obviously, when you look at Fox News and you see that the female anchors are mostly all fitting into a particular mold, they've clearly been hired and trained and groomed to have a particular look and role and presentation style on the channel, could anyone really be shocked that it is a total boys' club scenario in the Fox News newsroom? How would that be surprising to anybody?
Yeah. And there are some intelligent women who work for Fox News.
Of course.
They just, they're biting their lip. They have no choice. It is definitely I wouldn't necessarily say misogynist environment, but it's definitely a sexist environment. It has to be with the way you see how they are, groomed, I guess is the best word.
Her specific charges include that Roger Ailes explicitly asked her for a sexual relationship during a meeting in his office. Roger Ailes reportedly told her, "I think you and I should have a sexual relationship, and I've thought it for a while. I think that you'd be good and better, and I'd be good and better." She said absolutely not. And then reportedly, allegedly, as the lawsuit states, Roger Ailes retaliated by reducing her salary, curtailing her on-air appearances, and to her surprise, ultimately declining to renew her contract last month. Late yesterday, the parent company of Fox News issued a statement saying that they have full confidence in Roger Ailes, but they are reviewing the charges, Lewis, saying they take the matters very seriously. Roger Ailes says the entire set of allegations is false. This is about her having lower ratings and nothing else. What do you think?
I think had he not retaliated in this way, that would have just been the nicest and most classy pickup line of all time. Wasn't it?
What do you mean?
Was it just like a pure gentleman right there?
I think we should have a sexual relationship.
I think we should have a sexual relationship. I think I would be better and you would be better and it would be wonderful. And she says no. And then he retaliated. I mean, would it have been, what would it have been called had the retaliation not happened?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been called an office affair, right? That it would have been that.
An advance. Yeah.
Yeah, right. An advance on her next contract. So some people are questioning the timing. Now that her contract wasn't renewed, all of a sudden these charges fly out. And her primary attorney, Attorney Smith, said, well, we were already considering taking action before she was terminated. The firing sort of pulled the trigger for us, saying the firing itself is part of the harassment and discrimination. My prediction here, Lewis, this will be settled. The details will be sealed. We will never hear from her about this issue afterwards, and she'll get hired somewhere else more than likely.
That's what happens every time this type of situation arises with some executive, CEO, or president. There's always a settlement, and we never learn the good stuff.
Although it would be very interesting if this ended up in a different scenario where either, number one, her charges are actually thrown out of court, or if Roger Ailes is actually determined to have been at fault here. But again, usually in these situations, we end up seeing these settlements.
Or imagine if this turns into a slander case.
Imagine if it turns into a Bill Cosby situation where all of a sudden others come out of the woodwork.
That would be fantastic. I hope that happens.
Let's take a break. Bakari Sellers will join me next. He's in the middle of a smear campaign against him for his view on the BDS movement with regard to Israel.